Hello. Today I'm going to demonstrate Unito's two-way integration between Jira Work Management and Airtable. First, I'll show you how the completed integration functions, and then I'll walk you through the steps to set it up yourself in just a few minutes. So let's imagine we have a content team working in Airtable, and they need to send their work for approval to a team that manages their day-to-day in Jira. One Unito flow will turn our Airtable records into Jira tasks automatically. A flow is our term for the connection between your tools, made up of rules that determine which rows or tasks to sync, as well as selected fields between Jira and Airtable. I'm just creating a new row here with some details in my fields, so you'll see that same information pop up in my Jira project called Content Review. In this case, I've told Unito to sync rows to tasks based on their status. In Jira, that would be the label I've assigned to tasks, but not the issue status, which appears as my board columns in this view. You can imagine in this use case that my issue status reflects the approver in Jira rather than the status of a task or issue. So this will update automatically, but just to speed it up, I'll manually tell Unito to sync now. And there's my task for approval. The fields all match. Not every field from Airtable is in here because I've excluded some that I don't need my team in Jira to see. Only the relevant information for approval will sync over. Let's say my approver is happy with the content and changes the status. That status will also appear in Airtable like this. Next, I'll walk you through the steps required to sync your work. This assumes you've connected Jira and Airtable to Unito already. If you haven't, we have guides on how to do so. So, from the Unito app, click Create Flow. Then, connect your tools. I'll select Airtable with my account, then the specific table I plan on syncing, in this case, my web content table. Then, I'll connect Jira Work Management. In Unito, simply select Jira Cloud, and that will allow you to sync projects from Work Management or Software Cloud. Anytime you see a search box like this in Unito, simply start typing the name of the object you're looking for, and Unito will fetch that data from your connected tool. Next, we'll set a flow direction. This tells Unito where to create new work items. Those are rows in Airtable or tasks in Jira. In my use case, I'm sending work into Airtable, so I'll set a one-way flow here, but as you saw, my updates will sync bidirectionally. Rules let us decide which records and tasks to sync. I'll set conditions to filter out any records that don't include these statuses. So, only these statuses will sync to Jira. One thing to note, though, is that if at any point your tasks or records are given a different status not included in this list, they won't sync with Unito. Last but not least, I'll remove the creation date rule here. While this condition is in place, only tasks or records created after you launch your flow will sync. I'll remove it from this demo for simplicity. Next, we'll specify what information we want to keep in sync between tasks and records. Auto mapping will only be able to associate default fields it can recognize. Since I've named all the fields in Airtable myself, I'll map these manually. Start by clicking Add Mapping, and then you'll see two prompts labeled Select a Field appear on either side of your screen. You can pair up your fields as you wish. In this case, I'm syncing my Jira task summary to the name of my article in Airtable, description to description. The description footer of Jira will receive comments from Airtable. Delivery date in Airtable becomes the due date in Jira. And my Airtable status will sync to my Jira label. Any pair of fields with a gear icon indicates your multi or single select fields such as status or label. Clicking this icon allows me to pair individual values between my Airtable status field and the Jira label field. So I'll tell Unito that approved in one tool is approved in the other, send for review is to review, and revisions needed becomes revisions requested, and so forth. Doing this ensures that changes to my status or label in either tool will appear in the other. Just keep in mind that label in Jira is multi-select by default, so if a task or issue has multiple labels, it must be mapped to another multi-select field or else it won't sync. In this case, my status in Airtable is single select, so my team needs to remember to remove additional fields in Jira. From there, you can launch your flow. Updates will appear automatically as your teams work in Airtable and Jira Work Management or Software Cloud. You can continue to watch me sync again if you like. I'm just creating a new record in Airtable. Let's call it Guide on AI Trends in 2024. I'll add a description just to populate these fields so you can see how they appear in Jira one more time. I'll assign it to myself. Add a comment. Throw in an attachment. And then finally the status, since this is the trigger for my flow to sync this record into Jira. Now I'll jump over here, and there is my new task in Jira. I'll open it up so you can see how it compares to the Airtable record. And then I can drag it over to my colleague in Jira so that they'll know to review it. And then perhaps they have. They mark it as approved. I'll perform another manual sync just to speed this up. Let's say that my approver in Jira loves the article, approves it right away. There, I was too slow actually. As I switched screens again, it already changed in Airtable to approved, so the team in Airtable knows they can now publish that article. And that's it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. Thanks for watching.